In this video, we have the equation 1 plus I to the power of n equaling to 1 minus I to the power of n, and we shall have to find the value of n, where n is a positive integer. Now first of all, let's divide both sides by 1 minus I to the power of n. So we shall have 1 plus I to the power of n divided by 1 minus I to the power of n equaling to 1 minus I to the power of n divided by 1 minus I to the power of n. This will cancel with that and we shall remain with 1. And on the left hand side, this can be written as 1 plus I divided by 1 minus I raised to the power of n, and this is equal to 1. And at this point we shall rationalize. The denominator is 1 minus I, and the conjugate of this will be 1 plus I. So we shall multiply both the numerator and the denominator with 1 plus I. So this will be equal to 1 plus I and then times 1 plus I divided by 1 minus I times 1 plus I, and then raised to the power of n equaling to 1. And if we expand this, we shall have 1 times 1, which is 1, and then plus I, and then plus I to the power of 2, divided by, now this will also be 1, and then plus I, minus I, and then minus I to the power of 2, raised to the power of n, equaling to 1. This will cancel with that. And so we shall have 1 plus 2i, and then plus I to the power of 2, divided by 1 minus I to the power of 2 raised to the power of n equaling to 1. And from complex numbers we know that I to the power of 2 equals to negative 1. So this will be 1 plus 2i and then minus 1 divided by 1 minus negative 1 raised to the power of n equaling to 1. And this one will cancel with that. And this will give us 2i divided by 1 minus negative 1, which is 2, raised to the power of n equaling to 1. And also this will cancel with that. And so we shall remain with I to the power of n equaling to 1. And this is the general solution to this equation, because every multiple of 4, including 4, is a solution to this equation. Now let's see how we can find one of the values of n. We know that I to the power of 4 is the same as I times I times I times I, and this is also the same as I to the power of 2 times I to the power of 2. And if you remember, we said that from complex numbers, I to the power of 2 equals to negative 1. So this will be equal to negative 1 times negative 1, and therefore I to the power of 4 will be equal to positive 1. So we shall replace this one with I to the power of 4. This will give us I to the power of n equaling to I to the power of 4. And as you can see, the base on the left hand side is the same as the base on the right hand side, so we can equate the exponents. So this will give us n equaling to 4, and that's our answer. Therefore, that's how you can solve such an exponential equation. If you have found this video helpful, don't forget to like it and also subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.